Okay, everybody. Well, welcome to another ChampionsWay webinar. This is Sensei Nick on behalf of ChampionsWay, and also a big shout out to Datis for always helping us, just doing an amazing job, just an amazing black belt martial artist, and also an amazing marketing coordinator, helping us out with the training day. Datis and myself have been working together for years now, and Datis just wanted to give you a shout out to tell you how much I appreciate everything you do. You're always working hard and always reliable. So thank you so much for Datis for always putting these things together. All right, being the co-host of all these webinars. Datis is a rising star in ChampionsWay. He knows a lot about social media. He's also a black belt martial artist, and then just does an amazing job with marketing. So a big shout out to Datis. So guys, today we're going to be talking about Google Circles 101. Just going over some basics. It's interesting whenever something new comes out. There's a lot of different opinions and different ideas, and just everyone has different opinions of different things that are going on. So we're going to go through it. I'm going to go through a lot of things and hopefully give you some statistics to make you think. My advice to anybody is to be open-minded whenever it's coming to technology. Patience is involved. Things are never perfect in the beginning, so there's always going to be bugs, just like there was with Facebook and other platforms. So before we get started, quickly a brief explanation of ChampionsWay and who we are. ChampionsWay was founded in 1998 by Master Fareed Odar. We currently serve over 5,000 small businesses. We employ 60 people. We have our headquarters in British Columbia, and we also have a small office located in New Jersey. You can follow us on any of our social platforms, facebook.com/championswayfans, twitter.com/championsway, youtube.com/championswayinc. We also have the world's largest martial arts online community at community.championsway.com, and we have our blog on our lounge. You can just visit championsway.com. We also have another blog at blog.championsway.com. So Google Plus 101. Right, we're going to be going over a lot of basics, statistics, just different ideas and different things about the Google Plus platform, and telling you a little about it. And then at the end of this, also we're going to go through showing you exactly how to set up your page if you're looking to do so yourself today. So the first thing I wanted to go over really quickly was Google's long history of their failed attempts with social media. It's been going on for quite some time, and I mentioned it was interesting. If you were at the training day, me and Datis, we were always following when the pages, Google Pages for businesses, will be available, and we had heard it was going to be in January, and it was interesting because basically, the day after the training day, we basically we got word. Datis got word that the pages were now available. Which was really cool because we were talking about it at the training day, talking just about what it is and how it would benefit your business. And then the next day they came out with the Google Pages. So some people might be confused, like, what's the difference? Okay, well, it's like very similar to Facebook. You have your profile for Facebook, your personal profile like Nick Doherty, and then you also have your business page. Okay, well, Google is very similar. You could have your own Google account for yourself, for Nick Doherty, then you could have your business page for Champions Martial Arts or ChampionsWay, whatever business you have. So it was interesting. We were excited about that, and it was we were really interested to see how it was going to look, and it was kind of what we expected. But anyway, just to go through it real quick, there's actually it started back in 2003, okay, when Google bought Pyro Labs, the creator of Blogger. All right, so it's interesting, that was like their first attempt, when they bought Blogger, and there's so many different pages here, and you've heard some of these you might have heard of, and some of them you might not have heard of, like Friendster, okay, 30 million from Google, okay, but they declined it, and then in 2007 Friendster announced they will partner with Google. So that was another platform, and no one even knows what Friendster is anymore. I don't know anyone that's actually using it, okay, but that was another attempt. And then, 2004, we have another platform, okay? It was an independent project that they bought out. All right, then you notice they had a new release in April of 2004, for different applications. They tried, Google Beta Talk, Dodgeball. Like, who's even heard of Dodgeball? You know what I mean? Like, when did you ever hear about that one? And then, Google Reader is actually a really good one. Okay, that's something that you definitely want to use. That's something, it's really cool if you're into blogging and if you use the Google Reader app. It's something I highly recommend. So some things didn't work. Gmail chat. I know a lot of people use that. Rightly, a web-based word processing application they bought. Google Romance. I don't think anyone ever used that as well. Okay, but it was because it was an April Fool's joke. Picasa, that's their web application they're using for their photo sharing, similar to like Flickr. All right, and then in 2006 they bought YouTube. So we're going back a long period of time here. Going back from 2003 when they were attempting to get involved with social media and all these different things that work. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. And you have to respect them because, that's the way it is in business. Some things work, some things don't work. Okay, I think a great one was Google FeedBurner. That was a great addition that they bought for $100 million, and this was allowing people to subscribe to your blog feeds, which was really cool. Google Docs was created in 2007. Google acquires Grand Central for an estimated $50 million, and that then becomes Google Voice. Okay, Google acquires Postini for $625 million. It's a security, application. Pretty interesting. Google and MySpace reached a deal for Google to provide search and contextual ads to MySpace in return for giving MySpace. It goes on and on. They've been working on this for several years, and they just kept working at it and plugging away with it. Google Buzz. All right, I'm just going through some Kangaroo. There's so many different things they were doing. But anyway, that's just going over the history of what they've been trying to do. And so now we look at it and we see that the main platforms, and we talked about this before. I could put LinkedIn in there, but LinkedIn is a little bit different. But let's just talk about Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Those are the main ones that most of us are using for any type of social media marketing. If you're trying to market your business, and Google+ is it's going to be in there. My prediction. I don't see it going away. I think that it's going to continually get better. There's advantages and disadvantages, but let's go through Facebook or Twitter first. So when we're talking about Twitter, Twitter is really great for marketers. It might not be the best for martial arts schools, but the thing is, a lot of people don't know how to use Twitter, and they don't have time to use Twitter. You know what I mean? It's a very time-consuming platform. You need to be on there constantly, and I have a link there because I'm breaking down these platforms into economic, how they work economically, and what I mean by that is like how do they bring you money, and how do you get clients. Well, for Twitter, it's about links. Okay, it's a link economy. Like you want to really, it's okay to share links like with other people that are doing similar things because people look up and they try to find people with good content, and that's why they follow you. Unless you're a celebrity, then they follow you for anything. All right, but most of us are not in that situation. So if we're producing content about martial arts or training tips, and we're consistently putting links out, that is the key. That's how they get shared and they get retweeted. No one's going to retweet you just talking about saying that today's a fun day. No one cares. All right, but if you have a good link, or you put a good blog post or a good nice picture, or a video, whatever, people could take that and they could retweet it. All right, and it's all links. That's what they're retweeting. They're retweeting a link. They're not retweeting just a microblog of you saying nothing. It's usually going to be a link, a video, or a picture. A blog, is the link. A picture. Some people might retweet the picture. The link of the picture, and then same thing for for videos as well. And the reason why I talk about this is because it's interesting because when people are talking about Google Plus and how it's going to kill Facebook or whatever, the battles, like I look at it and I say, wow, like what they did with YouTube, the integration in Google Plus, it actually in some capacities it looks like it's going to affect Twitter a little bit more because these links to the videos and some of the things that are going on with Google Plus, it's a lot different. We're going to talk about that. So anyway, Twitter, you want to get followers. Okay, that's the bottom line. You're trying to get followers. So it's a link economy. You're trying to get followers. Facebook, it's an economy of pictures and videos. All right, people. That's what people are sharing. Okay, people are not looking for your blog posts on Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook as much as they are on Twitter. Okay, like links for blogs, and people are searching trending topics and keywords. Okay, that's not what people are looking for on Facebook. People are sharing Facebook. It's a social experience. People try to do it, and we do. We throw blogs up there as well, but you're going to get way more interaction. It's a social graph. So people want to see. Remember, everybody saw a social network. Pictures and the way Mark Zuckerberg designed it. Just like people want to know about other people. So that's what Facebook's all about. It's the social interaction. The social graph, okay? Then you have Google Plus, and you have all these Google apps, okay? And everyone's on Google. There's tons of Google users, and the thing with Google is it's more of an intrinsic search. It's determining what people's behavioral searches are, and that's how they're going to eventually do their advertisement based on what you're searching. Okay, like that they're looking at your behavior. Okay, very different than the Facebook social graph. They're looking for relationships you have with people. Okay, relationships you have with your what your hobbies are, what your activities are, and things like that. Now Google's a little bit it's a little bit different. Obviously they're connected to their search and everything they're using for that. But it's very interesting, and it's very advanced. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. I was talking to the C-Way about this a lot, but the takeaway is this: you can't keep everybody happy. See what works best for your brand, and remember, every area is different. Okay, so like it's funny. Like I read a lot, and I look at people's comments on Facebook and on the lounge and just on different social media platforms, and you could type in the benefits of Google Plus and the negatives of Google Plus, and you'll see everyone saying how great it is and how bad it is. So the thing that I just try to do is I worry about what works for me. That's really what it comes down to. What my goals are for my business, what my goals are for what I'm doing, and if it works for me, great. If not, I'm not going to try it just because I love Facebook. You know what I mean? Like if you saw that, we'll show you some statistics in a couple minutes. I don't know if it's still accurate, but Mark Zuckerberg had the most people he was in the most people's circles for Google than anybody else. Like he registered on there, and he's in more circles than even the founder of Google, which is interesting. So you can't keep everybody happy. Like if you go to like our website, we have a link to our Google Plus page, and we're not getting a lot of traffic to it yet, but that's okay. I mean, I'm just not going to not be on there. And again, I have to test market and see what works best for my brand. I'm not going to test it for a week, and I don't have time to test it for my school that much. So I'm going to try to make sure that I'm going on there, I'm utilizing it, and just checking it out and see what kind of how it works for my business. And every area is different. I mean, I am baffled sometimes when people tell me that no one in their area is on Facebook. I find that hard to believe. But it's maybe it's more about the style that you teach rather than where you're located. Maybe if you're teaching predominantly, let's just say more of jiu-jitsu or something that's MMA. Maybe it's interesting. Google Plus is more men than Facebook. Facebook does great for kickboxing and women. Okay, and I'm just giving you an example. So what I want you to remember is you can't keep everybody happy. Don't just tell everybody you're no longer going to be on Facebook as far as your brand is concerned, but let them see that you're active and you're on both, and you try it out. And you don't have to promote it so hard, but make sure that you test and see how it works in your area. So number two, the second takeaway we're going to talk about is what is Google Plus? Like, what is it? Okay, so I understand I went through some things, and people might be listening and saying, like, what is he talking about, or what is it? But I wanted to go through the history first to talk about Google, to talk about what they've been doing, and then to explain to you the major platforms that we're using, which is like Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn, some of us, okay, not really for business, and Google Plus, because anytime you have a business page, it just changes things. Like, why would you not want to have a business page on Google? Okay, so hopefully most of you have one already, but if you don't, we're going to show you how to do that at the end. So what exactly is Google Plus? Well, again, just like Facebook, you could have your personal brand, right? And like I try to make mine a little bit different. Just like you see some of the hashtags we throw out there, some of the people that I'm working with all the time, and like hustle hard, and just different things. Like we try to just keep changing up and just be different than everybody else. Just give ourselves like like shout outs and to the people we're networking with all the time, and anybody that wants to follow me, John Malik, and other people that are on here, talking and networking, please, anytime. And we always talk about hustle hard. Like, times are different. Like times are different. Like the way you're running your business and how much harder it is for your to get students today. You have to hustle. So like we're proud to hustle. We understand that you have to work hard, and we want to attract similar people. So you can have your personal brand, and you can put that up there. I recommend that to everybody. I know some people are a little more personal, and they don't want to have everyone knowing their information. I don't use my pages at all for anything except business because my personal life I keep in my house. That's where my personal life goes. I might throw up something on Facebook once in a while, like a nice picture of a dinner, or if I go on vacation, maybe. But I really don't. Most of the stuff is me traveling, speaking, webinars, things like that. That's really all I'm putting on there. And if you were a martial arts instructor and that's your predominant job, I would be posting things on there very similar, like if I'm going to school systems, if I'm going around, if I have testimonials, videos from my students, like that's what I'd be posting. I wouldn't be posting on personal information about, my relationships with my wife and my family members, and no one cares. So if you want to grow your personal brand, it will help you grow your personal business, in my opinion. But that's number one. So you could develop a personal brand on here for yourself, and then also there's brand pages, okay, for Google pages for a business. I mean, it looks very similar to Facebook. I mean, and it's funny, like a lot of people will say like, oh wow, like they're just copying off Facebook, and what they say, imitation is the greatest form of imitation is the greatest form of flattery. It is very similar. I mean, it really is. I mean, you see the images at the top, just like Facebook. The news feed, very similar. Okay, then you have like, instead of having like us, the +1, share this page, people in common. It's very similar, but why would you not want to have your brand page, like for Champions, or if people are looking it up, why would you not want to have that? So if you don't want to have a personal page, or you don't want to be that active on it, I would recommend at least trying, to get your business page active and at least getting some content out there, information. So some features of Google+, there's not many, but I like the way they simplify it to make it simple for you. I think it's a lot easier, I think, than Facebook. That's my opinion. Everyone has different opinions. Again, don't take mine personally. The stream, it's very similar. You have your status update. You put it in there. You could upload pictures. You could upload videos. You could put a link in there. You can even attach it to Google Maps, geolocation. Some people are into that. Some people are not. I personally am not. I don't really want people knowing where I'm taking a picture from. That's my opinion. Okay, and then you see people using hashtags. You see people making their posts, links, and so forth. So very similar. I like the way the user interface looks. I really enjoy it. I think it's very nice and clean. Very different than Facebook, in my opinion. Okay, then you have your Picasa, your photos. You could have your photos from your circles. You could see your photos from yourself. I like the way the pictures come out in here. I like this application personally. I like it, to be honest with you, I like it better than Facebook. Again, everyone's got different opinions, but I like it. So that's another. There you go, right here. If you go to photos, you can upload your photos if you want. Okay, and then this is, to me, this is the best part. Circles. I think the circles is the sickest feature. I love it. I think it's easier than just finding friends on Facebook, or looking at people and just trying to see if you want to be friends with them, or suggested friends. I love this. This is my favorite part. And you notice here, I have some people in my circles, and I'm in other people's circles. You could find people. You can sort it by relevance. Okay, there's more actions over here. You can type someone's name in. The only thing that I'll come back to later is some of the things that I hope they improve upon. But this is your Google Circles, and these are people that are in my circles. And then you can go to people that are suggested, and then you can look at them and you can see about them and check out their profiles and see if there's a way that you can put them in a circle for maybe a connection or some type of networking opportunity for your business. And I just showed you a couple of my circles. I have a lot of circles, different types of circles. So I have my close friends. I have my family. Okay, know of them. They're people that I really just don't know. Like they either requested me, or I just saw them in something I was interested in, but I don't really know who they are. 3 people that I'm following right now. Hustle Hard Movement. That's like people that I could send a message to about like, yo, let's go. I want to talk on the phone right now. Let's go, guys. These are my top hustlers that I talk to that I know at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, if I got a sick idea, it's like, let's go. Let's do it right now. Like, and there's not many people that I can talk about that with. But, it's called Hustle Hard Movement. ChampionsWay, those are all the ChampionsWay clients and people that are involved with ChampionsWay. Some Perfect Mind, other businesses that have nothing to do with martial arts. Old School Martial Arts, I had some Old School Martial Arts people that I noticed that I met on here. MMA schools, artists, I like art, I like drawing. I really love pictures, and I really haven't seen that many, but I found an artist that I was really impressed with. Bloggers, I love following other bloggers. Okay, business opportunities, somebody that I've been speaking to that is an opportunity for me, and then I have some clients that I've seen in Google Circles as well that I network with a lot. So the cool thing is, I mean, it's simple. You could just create your own circle. Okay, you could drag those people into the circle, or you can create a new circle, and you could just call it, you know, friends, family, whatever, you know, people you hate, people you love. You can call it whatever you want. I mean, so that's pretty cool, and this is one of my favorite features of it. Okay, then just going back to the page as well, like you see the YouTube integration, so you can search right on YouTube, right, you know, right on here. You don't have to go away from the page. That's awesome. Suggestions, just like Facebook. Okay, you could send invitations, and then you have your Hangouts. We want to try this in January for a lot of our clients. Okay, you know, to do some Hangouts, some live webcam, you know, just like informational things. And I haven't really tried it yet. I've just been too busy, but you know, I've done it with a couple of my friends. We did the small groups. Nothing yet for you guys, but I'm anticipating that we'll be trying some of that, you know, in the upcoming year for those that are interested and that want to do it. If you don't want to do it, it's no problem. But you know, it's pretty cool, and we're going to give it a shot. Probably in January, we'll do something for ChampionsWay clients. So, just a couple facts I wanted to go over for general information to give you more of an idea. I went over some of the basics, and then basically just to give you some quick tips. At the minute, Google Plus is only available to people through invite. However, this is only temporary. Within the next month, it'll be open to the public. As of November 2011, Google fan pages has become available. All right, so that's awesome. You know, I think I spoke about this earlier. Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, joined Google Plus after its launch, and he has more followers than Larry Page. Okay, that founder of Google, who currently has the second most followers. Based on over 22,000 Google Plus users, 87% are male. Okay, and you can go to socialstatistics.com for more information. That's where I got this information from. Credit to socialstats.com. Unlike Twitter, it's unclear who the real celebrities are on Google+. They will be having a verification system soon where real celebrity accounts will be clearly pointed out. Okay, that's interesting to know, too. Google+ has a video chat feature known as Hangouts, in which up to 10 people can be included in a video call. The sad thing is that it doesn't work on mobile devices yet. The Google+ Hangouts work with Google Translate to make multi-language communication possible instantly. Skype doesn't support this, nor does the Facebook video calling. Pretty cool. With the Google Plus account, you get unlimited photo storage on the Picasa instead of the 1 gig storage you get with the usual G Plus account. Google Plus was developed under the code name Emerald C. It's pretty cool. Unlike Facebook, there were no advertisements displayed over Google's social network site, making the load time faster and overall keeping Google Plus users from getting confused. There's a maximum 5,000 friend limit on every Google Plus profile. Again, this was something I found on here, like killer facts. I think this is from identifyme.com. And this was, I'm sure this is up since I took this. I made this presentation like earlier last week. 26 million registered users and counting. And that's it. That was interesting. And remember this, that it was up to 72% men, 28% women, 20% other. Interesting. Google Plus cost $585 million to build. 500 employees working. That is pretty amazing. So I thought that was amazing. So that was an interesting stat I wanted to show you. Top 5 people on Google Plus: Peter Cashmore, he's the CEO of Mashable. Larry Page, okay, Mark Zuckerberg. Look at that. That's interesting. And he's in 485,286 circles of other people. All right, that was pretty cool. Top 10 countries, represented by Google. All right, obviously the States looks like number 1. Okay, India number 2. Probably looks like Brazil and United Kingdom number 3. All right, Canada. What's up with that? The T's Canada. You guys are not liking Google Plus, I guess. So yeah, interesting. Just some interesting statistics. Top occupations on Google. I thought this was interesting to show people. All right, so engineers, 29%. You have photographers. I've noticed that's why I had some people that were artists and so forth. Writers, programmers, software developers, web developers, teachers, designers, software engineers. That's interesting. So, it is interesting for you guys to think about. All right, well, is that my target market where I want to try to get people? Okay, well, maybe that'll start increasing, maybe not. But again, the one thing I'm reiterating the whole time you'll hear me is still make a business page. You know what I mean? Still have a business page. Not to have one, you know, even if you're not getting the right target market, you know, just it is going to be working with just by adding a plus and then your name, and then it'll take them directly to your business page. I think that was something that's really important. Top 10 countries on Google. We kind of went over that already. You know what I mean? So that's something we had on there. No, I'm sorry, went over the countries, companies. Obviously Google, okay. Self-employed, IBM, Apple. Looks like the Apple users not too, you know, not that much into it. And there's other different companies. So I just wanted to show you some other statistics. So the takeaway is why we do not have a brand page. Like, you know, I'm not telling you that it's the best thing ever. It's going to get you tons of students, anything like that. But, you know, to not have a brand page, have that brand void is something that I would just question. I would say, why would you not want to be listed on Google? You know, and have people everyone's on Google searching. There's a lot of hype. People are going around. If people find you, the question is, why would you not want to be on there? So takeaway number 3, pros and cons. I'm just going to go through. These are, again, just, you know, personal pros and cons. I'm not sure, you know, if you agree or disagree, but I'll go over some of them, and then you can tell me yours later if you ever want to talk. So the pros, the interface, the user interface it's very, very nice. It's less cluttered than Facebook. So I would say the user interface is definitely a plus. Okay, definitely a pro. Google Circles, that is really cool. I mean, it's really simple, a lot easier to use. The Hangouts is a cool feature. I got to give it props. I'm not saying it's, you know, revolutionary or, you know, but a nice add-on. Okay, and I'm not sure if this is good or bad, but Google Plus is everywhere. So this can kind of go in both. I should have put it in both, but I thought it was cool because it just seems like everywhere you go, like in every one of their, you know, you see Google Plus everywhere. Like when you go anywhere, you see the plus sign now. It's on the search engines. It's like right on Google, you know, right on the Google search. So +1 it. You know, it's every time you see something, +1 it. So I'm seeing it everywhere more and more. This other thing I would say is it's Google. You know what I mean? Like it's like we're talking about Google. So that is a pro. It's not like we're talking about some search engine that no one's using. So you know, it's Google. The YouTube integration, that's obviously a big pro. Okay. That when I'd spoken before, remember, like consumer ease is always really important. And when people, if you can go right on there, you know, and watch videos, okay, you're able to go right on there and download videos. Search. Okay, the search is obviously, you know, it's a benefit. You know, like if people are going to go in and eventually be able to put plus champions or whatever, or plus anything, that's a huge advantage as well. Okay, so those are, to me, in my opinion, some of the pros. All right, some of the cons. No offense, guys, but it's mostly men. Okay, and you know, like, you know, what I think about is for a martial arts school, or, you know, maybe for MMA and jiu-jitsu, that, you know, it's mostly men you're dealing with. Okay. I know for most of the kickboxing and kids programs, you know, looks like a lot of women are not going on Google Plus. So that to me is, you know, that would be one thing that I say is a con. The feed noise, there's a lot of noise in the news feed. It's, you know, I think they're just getting started with that. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion. It's kind of noisy. It does not work with Google Apps yet. I'm sure it probably will. Okay, and then the search for Facebook. It's you know, they're not, like, if you go into the search bar and start typing in pages like Champions Martial Arts, it's a lot easier to find people, and it's a lot easier to find businesses, okay, on Facebook than it is on Google Plus. And then pages, you know, right now there's really not much you can do with them except for the news feed, and you can't really do as much as you can on Facebook. I'm sure they'll be adding more to it, and who knows what they'll come up with, but yeah, those are the pros and cons that I see. So again, takeaway: why would you not want to be on Facebook? Okay, don't be a hater. All right. The reason why I say that is this: you know, I heard someone about a year and a half ago said, you know, like, why would you want your business on Facebook? You know, when I saw this person making a video of it, and they're talking to other martial arts school owners, I was like, wow, whoa, man, what a shame. I guess he doesn't understand that it's, you know, it's a social graph. Like, you know, why would you not be on something that socially can get your business engaged with businesses? and I was very surprised by that. So my takeaway for you is this: don't be a hater. Like, like there's going to be things, pros and cons of, things that are good and things that are not good. But like I said, my question is, why would you not want to be on Facebook? Like, remember what that person had said. Like, why would you not want to have a Google Plus page? Like, at least get a Google Plus page. I'm not saying you go out there and whatever, but get your page up. Check it out a couple times a day. Don't kill yourself and spend hours and upon hours trying to whatever. But spend a little bit of time and put a link on your website. Like, I'll show you real quick because I want to show you one more thing here. Let's go through this real quick so I can show you. That's my Google Plus page. I'm just going to show you my website real quick, guys. ChampionsNJ.com. The +1 tab, they're adding that for me over there. But what I did was I just linked this, my +1 page, or my Google page for my business right here at the bottom. So it takes you right to my page. Not a lot of activity, but it's okay. All right. So that's what I did for that. Now, the last thing we want to go over, guys, was to show you how simple it is to create a page. Okay, it's actually a lot easier to me than Facebook. So I was going to take you through really quickly, show you how simple that is, and then you guys, if you have a Gmail account, you could do this in 5 minutes. All right. So when you see how easy this is, it's really awesome. So once you've created your Gmail account, and you're in there and you create your page, okay, then all you have to do is go to the bottom, and this is it. Create a Google Plus page. Like, it's almost so easy you don't even need to make screenshots, okay? So then from there, okay, local business, okay, product or brand, company, institution, very similar to Facebook, all right? And, from there, that's it. That's really all you would have to do. Just local business, okay? Enter your phone number and go from there and just go right in. So again, once you're on your page, and then the cool thing is you have one page. I can create more pages, and I go to Champions Martial Arts. It's really simple to find your page. Now, I really like that a lot better. I'm assuming they took that from Facebook because, like it's just, a lot of times you'll go to your page and you can't even find your own Facebook page. You go in the search bar, you try finding it, whatever. Oh, there's Master Spranza. Let's +1 him. Looks like he's dressed for some kind of, I guess he's getting for some training. Very nice, Master S. Really cool. So, you see he's out there. He's always posting. He's got a lot of pictures. He's very active. So congratulations. So guys, that's pretty much it. Again, real basic information, and I hope everybody can get their business page up. This webinar was meant to just give you some general knowledge of Google Plus, and we also had another webinar today. It was a great webinar. Some of our clients are doing a lot of amazing webinars for us, and Ricardo Almeida did an amazing webinar on student engagement and what he's doing to engage his students. So now, Datis, we can open up the forum for some questions. And if there's any questions, guys, or if you need any help at all, me and Datis will be able to help you get onto your Google Plus page and get that set up for you. So any questions? Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Thank you, Sensei Nick, firstly, for such a helpful and informative webinar. Everyone, I just wanted to make a quick announcement before we moved on into questions, actually. I just wanted to announce that we've got 2 exciting webinars coming up. One tomorrow is with Grandmaster Charfella. I think he's in here today as well. Big shout out to him. He's doing the Belt in Bag promotion webinar tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So that's the Belt in the Bag promotion. You can register for that by visiting bit.ly/beltinbag. So that's all lowercase letters. That's bit.ly/beltinbag. And our own CEO, Master Fareed Dordar, will be hosting a webinar on Tuesday, December 6th on growing your school. Now, this is a very, very exciting opportunity. Master Fareed Dordar is the CEO and founder of ChampionsWay, and he built this company off of the pains he saw in running a martial arts business. So he's going to be talking about how to grow your business, your martial arts business, as well as he has personal experience where he runs one of the most successful schools here in Vancouver with over 500 students, and this is just a webinar you do not want to miss. So the URL to register for that is bit.ly/mfwebinar. All lowercase letters. That's bit.ly/mfwebinar. Now let's move into some questions here. Scott asks, what are hashtags?
Hashtags and Datis, okay, I'm not sure. Datis, could you hear me?
Absolutely.
Datis?
Sensei?
Yes, could you hear me?
Yeah, you're perfectly loud and clear.
Datis. Oh, okay, great. So yeah, like a lot of times, like hashtags are used on Twitter, and like sometimes people use them on Facebook as well. But it's to basically use a keyword, So sometimes you would tell people, if we were doing like a webinar today, we could have said like if you'd like to, use a hashtag for Google Plus, and then other people following us that are not on the presentation, and it's like it's almost like a secret code to use to help people follow you on Twitter, and people transfer it over to Facebook as well, and but like sometimes like people will put like we put on there like boss, like it's like we talk about like me, John Malik, and when someone does something really good, we'll put on there hustle hard, like a hashtag, or it could be the webinar topic, but it's something you really don't have to use for your school. Most people aren't using it. It's more of like hashtags used on Twitter. And Datis, if you wanted to tell people a little bit more about how people use hashtags on Twitter, you could expand on that if you'd like.
Absolutely. Basically, it makes something more searchable. So for instance, if we're doing an event, let's say the training day that just passed, if we were promoting it hard on Twitter, what we would want to do is we'd want to create a hashtag called maybe training day. So I'm just going to type an example here. So we do hashtag, so the number sign, that's what the hashtag is, then training day. So what happens is now every time we mention it, what we do is we'll put, for instance, the training day is just a few days away. Register at www.example.com, and then at the end of it we'd put training day. Now what that does is that it indexes this post, so if someone searches training day, this will come up. So it makes it easier to search something. So every time we want to talk about the training day, we'd put the training day hashtag at the end of it, and it'll make it more easier to search. And if people click on the actual hashtag link, then they'll be taken to all the directory of information that we've provided for the training day. So it's basically creating like a little pocket of information for people to make it easier to search and make your information easier to be found. Hope that clarifies it for you, Scott. So moving on to the next question, we've got Lindsay who asks, is there a recording of Ricardo Almeida's webinar?
Yes, Datis. Actually, I have that recording, and we're probably going to send it out to everybody in the next week's newsletter, Datis. It was, amazing webinar. So, Datis, I'll make sure I get that over to you.
Perfect. Scott asks, will SMO clients get posts on Google Plus pages same as on Facebook?
Great question, Scott. And actually, I'll have to talk to Master Fried and our executive team about that. The hard thing is that you can't really set up Google Plus to a lot of other accounts. Like, for example, we use other platforms to post, so you can post to more than one account. And right now, Google Plus is not available to do that. So probably more than likely, I'd say the answer would be no.
Bill asks, how about a hangout for masterminding PM in your business? I would be very interested in joining this.
I think that's a great idea, and that's something that Datis we should bring up. Put a post on the lounge, and also talk to our board of directors to see if that's something that we could do. That's a great idea. Because Perfect Mind, when you are utilizing it, it is definitely something that makes your system or business run so much easier. So I could see what you're saying, like a group of owners and maybe some some of the tech team of Champions Way having some type of hangouts to watch like and videos instead of doing everything over the phone. That'd be a really good idea. So great suggestion, and Tatiz, let's add that to the team.
Definitely a cool idea. Thank you. RJ asks, he just got in a few minutes ago, so he's just asking if there's going to be a recording of this and will it be emailed. I can answer that one, Sensei Nick. RJ, we will be sending out a recording of this shortly. Within the next couple of days, everyone should have a recording in their inbox, and we'll also post it on our social networks, so keep an eye out on our social networks as well. And Mark asks, are your business pages different or linked to your personal page? So are they a part of your personal page, or are they completely separate?
Yeah, they are page, but you can make them separate as well with a link. There is it's not like you have a like Facebook. You can call it facebook.com/championsfans. I'm sure that's going to become available, something like that. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but yeah, you could just take the link from the page. Like if you saw what I did with my Facebook page, I'm sorry, my Google Plus page. There is a link that you could use. So like if as long as you're logged into Google, it would take you to the page, not my business page.
Great. And Bill asks, will PM act as an aggregator for G+, Facebook, and Twitter so I can enter one time and post to all three? So this goes back to a similar question that was asked a bit earlier.
Exactly. And Bill, yes, the same thing. Like right now, like Google Plus, like there's really nothing you could do. It doesn't connect to any other platforms, so that's really going to be up to Google Plus. And as of right now, Purple Mine is unable to do that. So, but maybe it's possible in the future. But as of right now, it's not something that we're doing.
All right, and we've got time for just a couple more questions here. All right, Sensei Nick, looks like you were very thorough on your presentation here. We don't have any further questions. If any questions do come up later, feel free to email myself or Sensei Nick. I'll put up our email, so that's senseiNick@championsway.com, sensei.nick, pardon me. And my email is datis@championsway.com. Keep your eyes open in your inboxes. You should be receiving an email either today or tomorrow with the recording attached to it, so that'll be that. And if you have any other questions and you feel like talking to somebody on a phone, if you want to ask more information about a specific product or service or anything like that, feel free to call 877-774-5425, extension 1. And that's about it for me, Sensei. Do you have anything else to say?
No, Tatis, other than that, thanks everybody for attending, and Tatis, thank you so much for everything you do to help make all these webinars possible. So on behalf of Champions Way, this is Sensei Nick signing off.
Thanks again, Sensei Nick, and thank you to everyone who took the time to attend today's webinar. We hope you found it very helpful, and we wish you a great day. Take care.